Hi, welcome to Just Chillin' with Maya and Kayla. I'm Maya.
I'm Kayla.
Very nice. And we wanted to talk about, I just wanted to talk about pop culture today because, to be honest, I had a more like negative idea. I was thinking about talking about like designer babies and eugenics. And then I was like, maybe I don't want to talk about that. At least like now. Like right now, I wanted like a more like lighthearted thing. So I decided to go with frenemies. Also, I was thinking we could talk about D'Angelo Wallace.
Maybe a little
Because
bit.
he's kind of in that zone, you know? So yeah, I actually watched his video on influencers and COVID-19. It was called Influencer 19, you know? It's a good thumbnail. I liked it.
I didn't watch it.
I watched it as I was getting ready today. Like just full, yeah. But yeah. But yeah, so I know like you couldn't necessarily speak to that, but I think you would agree with what he's saying. But anyway, the whole time I was kind of thinking like, even though, because Trisha, she is very like COVID conscious as well. I feel like, would you say she's been okay with COVID, right?
I think she's been okay, but I also think she pats herself on the back too much. You know what I'm talking about?
Do you like Trisha, would you say?
No, I don't want to say no. But I don't want to be like she's my favorite.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm like, I can get behind it. Other times I'm like, you're being annoying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel like a part of me wants so bad to root for her. Like, because I'm like,
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do root for her.
Because she talks about, like, her past and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, I want so much to like you, but you don't make it easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like. Because she can just say, like, the most outrageous stuff. And her, like, you know, and she's like,
yum.
I don't even know what she was saying. I think she said she was talking to Ethan. She's like, you should get an OnlyFans. It's like, so weird.
People would really love them.
It's like, why do you moan when you talk? I know that's not like a valid criticism, but like
she does. Like she did that during their big blow up, their latest big blow up. She was like,
Oh yeah, when she's like, I wouldn't have a nanny. You know,
it's hard to take her seriously.
The moan is almost like an "I'm better than you" kind of like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Add on. Yeah, I don't know. But oh my gosh, there was this one TikTok that we saw that was her. It would have been so much better if she made it. Remember, it was like the Powerpuff Girl one, and it was like because that was the whole time where she was freaking out about Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. And that Hair by J guy. Except because in the video, it was like she was different Powerpuff Girls, and it was just a bunch of her like crazy outfits. Yeah. Like, she just looks scary.
It's like it's like scarier and scarier every single podcast. I'm like, Jesus.
Well, yeah, it's like she comes in with like these wacky looks, and it's just I don't know. But a part of me also doesn't want to just like bully her, because that's why it's like I want to like her so bad. But then she also can kind of be mean and say like really like insane stuff from like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, how much I can give you credit.
You have to hold her accountable for a lot of the terrible things that she has also done.
Ooh, like what? Let's get into it.
Like when she was like making fun of that one girl who had DID. That's not good.
Oh.
That was not good.
Is there a video of that?
Yes.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I should see it then. What did she say? Was she just like...
She originally was like, I have DID. And whether or not she does, I don't know.
Whether or not Trisha does?
Yeah, I'm not a doctor. She very well could. Or she couldn't. I don't know. But she was self-diagnosing herself, which seemed to be the central issue.
Okay.
Based off of... And she said so herself based off of Anthony Padilla's...
Oh, that video?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
like
not
DID.
Like medical. You shouldn't get medical advice from that. That's weird.
Yeah. But she was like, okay, I have DID. And then everyone in her comments were like, no, you don't. which is like,
That's funny.
and then Anthony Padilla and his girlfriend, Glenn by Gore.
Are they still dating?
I don't know.
Because I have
Are
not
they
seen anything of them recently, so I don't know. Or like for a while, so that's because I know it's like, oh, I have a girlfriend now, like we're dating. Oh my god, like they made this whole thing, but then
Yeah.
it's like I've heard nothing.
They very well could
So.
not be. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on. I don't really watch their stuff.
Yeah, I kind of watch. What is his series called? It's just like in the
life of
wondrous
whatever.
world of blah blah, or just in the world of blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Or he interviews whatever. So I used to watch them a lot, but I what did I recently watch? Oh my gosh, what did I? It was something like not pleasant. I watched his video on people who survived death row. Yeah, really
Who
depressing.
survived death
Mhm.
row?
Well, they got exonerated before
Oh.
they could be executed.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was like. I thought you
So
meant like
it's-
they survived their penalty.
No.
I was like, what? That happens?
Well, I mean,
Oh,
there
I
are
guess,
people.
yeah.
There are people that like do survive, and then they gotta like go even.
Yeah.
I just watched American Horror Story the last season, and I guess no spoilers, but there's this one person that like I don't know, but they weren't successful. I'll say they weren't successful. But anyway, it's funny about his videos sometimes because he's been getting into more darker stuff, so he has to kind of get rid of, because he used to say in the wondrous world of blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But when he's talking about like human trafficking or kidnapping or something like that,
you
he's
can't
like,
really.
he can't say like wondrous world anymore.
Mhm.
So he and with like death row, he said in the world of,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's nice.
That's good. That's good. But I just thought, I don't know. I
It's
thought that
very
was kinda-
sensitive.
Yes. Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Good for
But
him.
it's also like, should we really be praising him for doing something that he should have
be
already
doing.
done?
Yeah, but we're not canceling it. We're not. He's fine. He's
Yeah.
fine. Should we cancel Trisha?
I don't think we should cancel Trisha.
I think.
I think cancel culture is
Oh,
a bit of an extreme. That's a whole other thing.
That is a whole other thing.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Because that ties in though with how, Trisha was by Shane's side like this whole time,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like this one thing, and then she's like, poof, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the one thing isn't a small thing.
Yeah. But it's also like, I support Trisha in her feat, but at the same time, I'm like, why did it take you that long to be like it's kind of like, okay, you did something bad to me, so now I'm not going to support you.
Right, it doesn't
when
have
it's
anything
like,
to do...
well, what about all of the other terrible stuff that he's
Right.
done to everyone else?
Yeah.
Like, why did you not support him then?
Yeah. It's almost like maybe she did have doubts about his character, but she just wanted his support, and now that she wasn't like getting that, it's like, all right, well,
Yeah. Which is like,
you were a bad person anyway, but it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe you're not so good because you kind of chose to look the other way in his behavior.
mm-hmm.
But did you see that Ryland posted another video on his YouTube channel? It's like, something makeover, like some room makeover. I didn't watch it, but I saw that on YouTube. Just in there. Yeah.
So they're still posting.
They're still doing stuff, and Shane was in the thumbnail even. So, I don't know. Like, I don't know if Shane should have been canceled because, well, I'm not saying I support Shane. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, in general, to cancel someone. I like the idea of someone being able to redeem themselves and then be able to maybe not be at, like, the level they were before, but still be able to, like, live a decent life after they've made
well, my argument is that
mistakes.
he's also a multimillionaire. So it's
True.
like, does he really need
True.
YouTube? He doesn't.
No.
He could retire
He
right
can't-
now comfortably.
He can't make any money off of YouTube.
You demonetized him.
Yeah. Which is like...
I
it's
feel like
kinda funny.
even though I think cancel culture is an extreme, I think he deserved it more than Jenna Marbles did.
Well, do you think anyone really... I think she canceled herself. Right?
That's true.
People didn't really cancel her. People didn't want her to leave. They were like, no, come back.
I feel sad about that still. I feel sad.
Yeah. Well, because here's the thing.
But
I
I
have an
think- Mm-hmm.
opinion on that, too. Because I, like love her videos.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would watch them as like comfort videos, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like the one video that she's making soup with Julian
Mm-hmm.
and it's like the tofu soup.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that video. It's just, and also the cooking videos with Julian, I really like.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes I'll go back and watch this. To be honest, I haven't watched a lot of her stuff because it just are recently because I've rewatched them like so many times before.
Yeah.
So it's like I want her to make like new stuff for me to like, but I know that's not gonna happen for a while or ever.
I think I watched her a lot, but then I stopped once like she started making a lot of dog videos because I was like,
Well, dog videos are kind of boring.
I was like, your dogs are cute, but I was also like,
Yeah.
like I kind of want
You're like
something new. I was like, I kind of want something new.
You should make something new. But yeah, I definitely see your point. But the thing is, have you seen anything about how like Julian on he has like a Twitch highlights channel or whatever, and he'll talk about he addressed Jenna briefly in one video. Because he was like, guys, like, basically don't mention her. And I was like, okay, like, I understand you want privacy and you want a break, but at the same time, I feel like that's kind of unfair to ask because a lot of people, including myself, it's coming from a place of support, and it's like, we miss you, and we don't think you did anything wrong, you know? And so to say, like, just stop mentioning her, stop saying, people were saying, like, we miss Jenna in the Twitch chat, and he wanted them to stop doing that. And it's like, why?
It's weird.
It's coming from a
to
place
like pretend that she
a
doesn't
positive
exist.
place. Yeah, it's like just give her a break, and it's like, well, if she's not watching this, she's not going to see them mention it.
It's
And-
also kind of weird too because it's like, no offense, Julian, but people watched you because of Jenna. So it's like
True.
your following is kind of Jenna's following.
Yeah, I don't know
Not to
that.
be me, it's not a diss. It's
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, and like to be honest, I like that's the kind of like YouTube personality like I would want to be friends with. Like I want to be friends with her. So I want to be like very careful because I want to be like trash talking them. That's not what I'm trying to do at all. I'm just saying that I miss them, and if I want to talk about them, I feel like I should be able to because they were public figures. I understand you want your privacy. It's not that I'm like going to your house and harassing you, but I feel like there shouldn't be anything wrong with saying we miss Jenna, I miss Jenna, blah blah blah. Because I feel like she had millions and millions of followers, so I think it's natural for people to be sad and be curious about when she's going to come back, and to give their opinion on whether or not that, if they feel that her, I guess leave was, because people don't think that. I don't think people canceled her, I think it wasn't like, you get off the internet right now.
Yeah.
Like, it was nothing like that. She felt that she made a mistake, which they are mistakes. But, I don't think that, I don't know. I don't know if they're, like in comparison to, like, things that, like, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Shane Dawson have done. I don't want to play the comparison game or whatever. But at the same time, you just gotta wait. The wait is different.
I think it's important to hold everyone to the same standard.
Right.
But I think the difference between Jenna and Shane is that Jenna seemed very sympathetic. She was very aware. She apologized profusely.
Right.
I mean, she genuinely did feel bad. Like with Shane Dawson, it just felt like I have to save my caboose.
My caboose. Yeah.
Which is why it's like...
And hearing, like, that comment about the cat back, I don't know if you've ever listened to it back, but it is kind of like, ooh, that's gross. If that's a joke, like, that's not...
Have you seen the videos
clear.
of him, like, harassing his animals? Like, he was holding this dog up, and he, like, put the dog's
Well, that's what
crotch.
D'Angelo Wallace was reporting on a lot. Which kind of brings me back to Trisha, because Trisha hates D'Angelo Wallace. Still, even though she hates Shane now.
I think it's because he made a video about her and Ethan, but it was very constructive. I
don't
it was
think,
constructive.
Yeah, I don't think it was like, I hate you guys kind of.
He said he liked it.
Yeah.
And he started with a lot of positives.
Yeah.
He said Trisha was very funny.
Yeah. Which I would agree. I like their chemistry. I do think it's funny. It does. That's why it's like, I don't hate Trisha at all. I don't dislike her. Mm-hmm. I think she's funny and I do like her, but there are just some things where I'm like, wow. Like, normal people could not get away with the things you are saying.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. It can be like, okay, how much blind trust do I give you? Like, should I believe what you're saying about, like, you were held at gunpoint in Mexico? And robbed, and it's like, okay, maybe, but a part of me, there's just so many like these outrageous stories where I'm like, that could entirely be possible, but it just seems so fake. And so I don't know how, I don't want to be like naive in believing something that's not true. So a part of me is wary on that, and a part of me doesn't know if it's like for, I don't know, attention. I don't know. Is that mean to say?
I think it's like what Ethan says on the podcast, how he's like, you exaggerate a lot.
Right.
Which I think that might be. I think she takes something that is true, but she just like ramps it up so much.
Sorry about the mic difficulties. I don't know why. I got these mics off of Amazon, and like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know how jank they are. Anyway, I do think that I also want to talk about Ethan's relationship with Trisha, because I feel like Ethan, well, it's interesting because he criticized her like a couple years ago before he actually knew her, and he was criticizing how she looked in real life versus how she looked on the internet, I guess.
It's a very interesting relationship. Very interesting past.
Yeah. But then now he like blindly likes her and trusts her and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And with all these blow ups too, it's like, I know you can't turn away someone like that who completely just verbally abuses you in your home, because maybe from her case it seemed like it was coming from like a lot of pain. And she definitely has articulated about her past and how she has gone through many things and how she has been through a lot of pain. So you don't turn away someone like that, but also you got to be like, dude, that's not appropriate in my own home.
Yeah.
How many times has that happened? Like 3?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, can you be a little mature? I think that's the thing. She's like in her 30s, right? And I just don't know if the maturity level is. I mean, she's trying to get pregnant, and it's like, oh my gosh, imagine being, you know, her kid, you know. And the good thing, I mean, honestly, good for her for landing a man like Moses, though, because again with Moses, blind, like she can do anything, and he's like, I'm here for you, babe. You know, he might think that she's stinky, but. But he'll still be right by her side.
I know. That was not good that he said that.
Yeah.
I don't condone that.
Well, me neither. No, that's
That
a
is
horrible
not
thing to
good.
say. That is a horrible thing
About
to
your
say.
woman.
Yeah, I agree. And especially with someone who has a lot of these like insecurities. Yeah, you don't say that. You don't say that.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh wait, I wanted to say something though about, because I mentioned Jake Paul and Logan Paul earlier. I do not like them, because I'll be honest, like over like a little bit over the quarantine, I was kind of watching some Logan Paul videos, because honestly, they were entertaining. And I like really, it's like the thing with Trisha, it's like I want to like you, but I don't know if like your character is going to allow me to like you.
Yeah.
Because even though he seems like a funny, nice guy, there are just all these other things where it's like he just does not seem like actually like a nice, caring, considerate person.
No,
Same thing with his brother. I never really liked his brother.
Both of them are so just, they've both done terrible things.
Right.
Suicide Forest. I know everyone brings that up.
Right.
It's real.
I was watching, because a lot of people have been kind of criticizing David Dobrik, and I was kind of just going into it more because I want to know kind of like which side I should be on, I guess. Like, I want to know, am I, like, is the Vlog Squad okay? Or is it actually some messed up, like, group of people, including David, you know? And then so I looked up, like, I just looked up, is David Dobrik? And then the one thing that came under it was, is David Dobrik a sociopath? So then I clicked on that. And then a video came up, and it was influencers criticizing David or exposing David or something like that. And then it was a clip of Logan Paul talking about how David Dobrik and his friends were criticizing him in his own home. But it was kind of creepy because they were talking about Logan when he wasn't there, but they have security cameras so they can like hear everything, which is kind of creepy in and of itself. It's like you can never be like private in that house, I guess. But still, because then I was thinking, well, Logan, it is something messed up you did.
Right.
Like, don't be like, oh, like you're criticizing me, blah, 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 behind my back. And it's like, okay, maybe behind your back isn't good. Maybe it's better for them to do it to your face. Then I wouldn't have a problem with it because it's like, I feel like that's warranted.
Yeah.
Because you done messed up, and you got to take accountability for that. So I feel like he was just kind of getting butthurt because he's like, don't criticize me.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like them. I don't like them. I don't like the calls. I don't like them.
Yeah.
I never will.
David
Dobrik, I used to really like his blogs. Now I'm kind of like, looking at him a little different.
Yeah, because of Trisha especially, I think. But that's another thing. I didn't know if Trisha was just trying to trash talk the Vlog Squad because she had...
messy breakup.
Because she had a messy breakup or something like that. Like, I didn't know if she was just being like, oh, she just doesn't like them because... Just for some stupid reason, honestly, is what I was thinking. But I feel like now I've been giving her more... I don't know. I've been listening to her more seriously about it. Because honestly, I don't know.
I think I remember watching the last vlog I remember watching was when they had like that gang of like shirtless guys in like Spanx, remember?
Oh, the Davids,
whatever.
Yeah.
And he would like torture them a little bit. Like they were his monkeys and he'd be like dance monkey dance. And I was like, that's a little messed up.
They kind of make me
I was
like,
it's a lot. So I was like, okay, I'm going to stop watching.
It's like that feeling in your stomach, at least I get this, when it's like someone is getting like, I don't know, really badly hurt or something is just really messed up. And it's like you get this feeling in your stomach, it's like, ooh, that's not right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if I'm watching American Horror Story, sometimes I'll get that feeling where it's just so... But even though it wasn't like, they weren't killing anybody, but it was just
but they were like,
ooh, that hurt. That's gotta hurt.
And it's like, I don't know. I used to like them. Now I don't anymore. Like David, I'm like, he just feels different.
Like, again, I want to like him. All these influencers that I watch because, they make me laugh or they bring some kind of enjoyment or inspiration or what. I don't even know if I want to give them that much credit. Never mind. They make me laugh. I want to like them. But then it's like their character behind it is just so... bad and they're just so unlikable actually as people. Yeah, and because here's the thing, because D'Angelo Wallace in his COVID-19 influencer video was praising David but not the Vlog Squad. It was kind of weird. He was saying that it's good that David stopped doing vlogs during coronavirus. And that he hasn't seen anything of him like going to parties and blah blah blah, so it's like good on him. But he has seen his friends, like the Vlog Squad people, going out, and Jason doesn't care, and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, do you not realize that there's still videos of him hanging out with those people that go to parties? Like, even if he hasn't physically left his house, in the videos that he posts, like, on TikTok or whatever, he's still hanging out with those people that do post themselves going and partying and whatever. So I'm like, why didn't he mention that? Like, why is he giving David, like, this, off and not... It was weird.
Well, first of all, coronavirus isn't over yet. I feel like a lot of people are jumping the gun. It's not over yet. And he has, like you said, like made vlogs with all of his friends and stuff who do go out. And I find it very hard to believe that David doesn't go out at all. I mean...
Right, and being so, like, rich and famous is just kind of... Like, I don't know how... I think it's just saving face. I don't know. Because it's like people don't care unless they get caught anyway, I
don't really want to give David a lot of credit. I don't want to praise him or anything because he does hang out with all those people. He has them over.
Right.
He has Addison Rae over all the time. He has a bunch of TikTok people over all the time. I mean, just because he's at his house doesn't mean that he's distancing at all.
Right.
It's just that he's inviting people over instead of going out.
He's still hanging. I think he just stopped making videos just to, I don't know, maybe he isn't really going out that much and he's just having people over at his house. But I think a lot of it is, it's like here's this big influencer and he just stopped making content because there's a global pandemic going on. Like, wow, like he's so great. And it's like, I don't think he's actually following like just living up to that.
There's a lot of people, there's a lot of praiseworthy people actually on YouTube. Like, for example, H3H3. Ethan's very serious about it. He's constantly getting Trisha tested, his whole crew tested.
Right.
He's super up to date on it.
Yeah.
I would praise, if anyone, I would praise them. I think they're doing super with it.
And I know when Jenna Marbles and Julian were making videos, I trusted them. And I'm sure they're not really going out that much.
Oh, I doubt it.
I like how, like, they're homebodies. I like them.
Yeah. I'm sure
I
they're
miss
having
them.
fun.
Yeah. It is kind of sad now because it's like I want to like Julian's content because I do like him. I think he's funny. But it's just not the same with it's him by himself. Like his cooking videos are enjoyable to watch sometimes, but I don't know.
He needs the
He needs the Jenna.
He needs the Jenna a little bit.
Yeah.
I miss them.
But yeah, there are definitely some influencers that are doing good. But I don't know.
I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head.
But there's just, I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, I understand if you got the wealth to get people tested and whatnot, like, okay, that is understandable. And so you go, because people are, I mean, SNL, like I was thinking of all things, why is SNL still on?
Oh, yeah.
Like that crappy show, like, I'm sorry, but.
It's not really that. I was watching SNL with your mom the other day, and I was like, this is not funny.
It's not that funny. And it's like that of all shows, like
John
that's able to
Krasinski
be.
was on it.
But, like, that's able to be up and running. It's kind of like, okay, like, priorities. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just not, I think they give it too much. That's a whole other issue. This is a whole other issue.
No, we can get into all of it right now, honestly.
SNL, too?
Yeah, you can talk about SNL.
I don't have much to say. There's not really much to say.
It's just that,
it's
yeah,
not that funny.
I don't really feel like it's that funny. I don't really know how to make it more funny. I don't know. Because it's like, obviously these people kind of know what they're doing because they're comedy writers, or maybe they don't. I don't know. But it's just not that enjoyable to watch. You're right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I thought that was weird that that's, like, still up and running.
The Grinch skit made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, there's just some skits where I'm
that was one that I was like, I don't know if this is funny. I think for the most part, I just feel weird.
I feel weird. Yeah.
I did kind of want to go back to Trisha a little bit. I wanted to talk about, I guess, just the Frenemies podcast in general. Because I know that we watched that award show one, and out of all of their episodes, I was like, this one, I was like, you know, like, I just wasn't really enjoying it that much. Because I just felt like that one category where it's like 4 Dixie D'Amelio nominations and then one other person.
That reminds me, she gets mad at James Charles for hanging out with the D'Amelios and stuff because she's like, it's disgusting, like hanging out with these young girls, blah blah. But then it's like, you hang out with JoJo Siwa, right? Like, hadn't she?
Yeah.
Hadn't Shane hung out with JoJo Siwa? And she's commenting and just cyberbullying
This
Dixie
like little
D'Amelio.
19-year-old.
Yeah, which I'm not this big fan of them. I don't really care either way, honestly.
I don't really care for the D'Amelios.
But I'm just pointing out Trisha's hypocrisy in that, you know, she has this thing up her butt about Dixie D'Amelio, and it's like, dude, can you just get over it? Like, you are 30, and it's kind of embarrassing.
A little bit, because it's like, I don't even think that Dixie really, I mean, like, she lashed out, but it's like, bro, she's 19, like, just give her a pass. Be the bigger person and be like, okay, you're 19 and you're being stupid. Like, it's whatever. She made it came back to bite her in the butt anyways. Because people didn't like that she was dancing over Trisha singing the N-word. They're like, okay, well, that makes you look very insensitive. So then she took it down. So it's like, okay, well, she got her just desserts, Trisha. Like, can you just let it settle? She doesn't really talk about it that much anymore. But I didn't really like that episode because it felt like the two main targets were James Charles and Dixie D'Amelio.
Oh.
And
no, you can go. Sorry.
Well, then also to my point, it's like, okay, that's another thing too. It's like Trisha and Ethan, you are in your 30s.
In your 30s.
In your 30s. Ethan has a baby. It's just like, okay, you guys are clearly like very old, and I feel like this
not very old.
Not very, but they're like they're older
right.
than James and Dixie. You know, that's like your parents bullying me.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's inappropriate, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, act your age a little bit. And it's like, I understand. Yeah. I agree with Ethan's point that James made an uncanny replica of the Teddy Fresh color block hoodie.
Oh yeah.
I think he, even if he didn't, whether or not he meant to, I mean, and it's hard to be like, because he was like, I don't even know what Teddy Fresh is. It's like, come on, like Lorraine wears that all of the time.
Lorraine wears Teddy Fresh?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
So
because I feel like it would be understandable if you didn't know what Teddy Fresh was.
But Lorraine.
But then, if his friend does, mm-hmm. then it's like, okay, well then you're
the exact. I mean, yeah. So it's like, I think he was aware, but he was trying to just be like, I don't know.
Okay. That's just, yeah. Well, and another thing about, because Trisha was just ripping on James Charles. She was like, I don't like him. He sucks. He's disgusting. Blah, 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 blah. But then 2021 Trisha, she's like, I love him now.
Mm-hmm,
like, blah, blah. But then literally the next episode after that, Ethan's like, oh, so we're anti-Shane and a pro-James Charles podcast. And she's like, I never said that. And it's just like, girl, you don't even remember half the things you say. Like, you say this crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I hate James Charles. And it's like, oh no, I love him now. And it's like, I never said that.
Yeah. It's really bizarre, kind of. Yeah. It's really weird. But yeah, I think, like, I'm glad that it's kind of simmering down now. But for a long time, and I kind of didn't like this period, it was just, like, very, like, anti-James, anti-Dixie. Whenever they could fit it in, they just gave it to them. And it's like, okay, they are still very young. And it's like, even if James did rip off the color block hoodie from Teddy Fresh, it's not like they're not profiting off of the hoodie still. Like, they're still making a lot of money off of it.
You think there'd be, like, I don't know, like some kind of, like, not like a patent, because that's, like, for inventions. Mm-hmm. But, you know, there's, like...
It's hard to patent color block, though.
I guess. Yeah.
Because it's just such a universal design.
True, because that's also the thing. It is kind of universal, so it's like,
But I think the uncanny part was that it was, like, the exact same colors.
Like, placed in the exact same spot.
So it's like, it's one thing to be color block, it's another thing to have it be the exact same color. It's like, come on.
Yeah, I agree.
So you know, I agree with Ethan on that stance. Mm-hmm. I don't agree that he gives it to James, like, every single episode.
Yeah. Well, that's because I feel like, for whatever reason, maybe because Ethan can banter with Trisha and kind of give it to her. But at the same time, it feels like he can also kind of just, like, blindly follow her. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, like, I believe you, blah, 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 blah. And now it's like, since you hate James Charles, I hate James Charles. But actually, he hated James Charles because, I'm not going to say hate. He didn't like him because he stole the color block design. But you're right. She would be just cyberbullying James Charles. I don't know. And then he would just be right there with her.
Yeah.
Cause
And that's kind of what D'Angelo, to wrap him into it again. That's kind of what D'Angelo said in his one video about the Frenemies podcast that Trisha hates. She hates that.
True, and here's the thing: she didn't even watch it because she just makes these opinions sometimes without watching or educating herself about it. And I'm like, dude,
that's what she said about.
That's not a good way to go about things.
I didn't watch any videos on Shane Dawson, so I didn't know the extent of what he did. Which is like, that's so bad.
Oh my God.
That is so bad.
Yeah,
it's like, you need to educate yourself first, and then, you know, make a stand.
Right, like, make up your own mind. I think that's also part of her problem because she doesn't make up her own mind sometimes. She's relying on other people because she wants to be liked, I guess, so much that she just relies on other people to feed her the information. She ends up just getting hurt in the end because people can easily then just like make up these great images of themselves to her, and she can't make up her own opinion. But then on the flip side, someone can make like one wrong move or something like that, and it's like, I hate you,
Yeah.
and even if I don't know, because like even I'm not gonna say Dixie D'Amelio made like one wrong move, I don't really know like why she doesn't like her. I think she just thinks she needs to be humbled, but at the same time, it's like, you know, she can be very opinionated about more like frivolous things. Like I would say the Dixie D'Amelio thing, frivolous. The Shane thing, there's a lot more weight to some of those things, and you should really educate yourself on some of the things that he was doing, like the blackface and like the weird pedophilia stuff. It's like you might want to educate yourself.
I think what she does is she educates herself, but only on people who have done her wrong first.
Okay.
Like, Shane did not do her wrong. Dixie D'Amelio did do her wrong, so then she dug up all this stuff. James Charles did her wrong, so she dug up all this stuff.
Yeah.
Peter Mon did something wrong to her, so she dug up all this stuff.
Right. So, okay. That makes sense.
So I think, like, you a little biased, I guess, in terms of research.
Yeah, and
what she decides to research.
But it's only for negative purposes. It's like, okay, you did something wrong by me, so I'm gonna try to everything in my power to cancel you. You know how we were like, okay, we don't really like cancel culture that much because it can just seem so. I don't know. It just seems like a very for in some cases. I don't know, like with Shane, like I guess. To be honest, I honestly don't care. Like I don't really watch him that much. I'm like, I don't care whether you make content or not.
Well, yeah, I don't care. But I would like people to know before they watch his content.
Yeah, what definitely have the context to. It's kind of like something where, I don't know, I was just thinking, what's the movie with Zippity Doodah in it? It's that one Disney movie that is like it's racist and it
Song of the South or whatever?
Yeah. And you can't get it anywhere in America. Which I feel like if you want to educate people about like racism, you could like that could be something to show them. Like don't completely like Disney just wanted to completely erase it. Yeah. And I don't approve of that. Like I think have these things that are negative from the past, but be able to contextualize them and learn from them,
I think the problem though, he did keep like those videos up for a long time.
Oh well, actually, okay, wait.
But they were monetized, so every view he was still getting money from them. That was the problem.
Okay, wait. In what I just said, I don't mean like keep your blackface videos up.
Yeah.
Because. Yeah, well, and have them monetized. That's even a bigger no. Have the video of him like talking about what he did, I guess, or have those videos up. But I guess with Disney, it's different because they're a big corporation.
Yeah.
So, and that's in one like solidified movie form. He has multiple videos of him making these mistakes and stuff, and of him doing these things. So I don't know. I feel like
that was. Oh, sorry.
A part of me is just kind of like, oh my gosh, Disney, like you're just trying to cover it up that you were racist in your past. Like, can you just own up to it? Because it's like they don't have the movie. Like you can't buy it in. I'm not saying you should buy it for pleasure. Like don't do that. But it's like you can't buy the movie at all. They're trying to make sure that you don't even know it exists. And then they have the freaking ride as the focal point of like Frontierland. And we got a cat. Oh, we got a cat.
Oh my God, Mimi. We could not find her today. Your parents thought that she ran away, genuinely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because she likes to go outside sometimes.
They're like freaking out.
That's how she got worms. Yeah, Mimi's got worms. You want her? I'm kidding.
Ew, Mimi.
You want her worms?
No.
You want her worm eggs?
Okay, bye, Mimi.
Okay, bye. We were literally like the other day, like she had her tail flipped up so it's like you could see her bum, and they were like, what are these things coming out of her butt? And it's like, they were worm eggs. It's disgusting.
Ew.
Yep. But she's okay now. They gave her the treatment and she's okay now. Thank you, Mimi, for making your guest appearance. Ooh, yay.
Yay, Mimi.
But yeah, they have like they have that ride, Splash Mountain, as the center of Frontierland.
Oh, is that a homage to?
And that's from the movie.
Really?
Yes, that's based around the movie Song of the South. Zippity doo dah. Yeah. Zippity yay.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to
Oh.
Frontier.
But that seems like just a blatant, just like, what? Like, it just seems so messed up.
Well, yeah, they're isn't that one of their biggest attractions?
Mm-hmm.
So they're making a lot of money off of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you really care about erasing, you can't have it both ways.
That's what I'm
That's what I'm
thinking.
saying. It's like, okay, if you want to erase something, erase everything. Get rid of it all. If
But
you're
I
making a
don't-
statement.
But I don't like just cover-ups. I feel like people should know, like, look, this happened. Like, don't profit off of it. Don't have people, like, don't enjoy it, I guess. But, you know, don't not know that it ever existed. And that there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like the context matters. Because like, what if you're taking a class in college about, like, racism in America? You know, your professor, like, could assign that movie to you for you to watch and learn about, like, this is how, I don't know, because it just portrayed this black man as, like, very happy in like, I don't know, was it like
really know much
like
about
1930s South, like there was no problems going on in the 1930s in the South for black people, you know. It was just like, yeah, yay. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you, Disney.
Yeah, but and so with people's videos, that's another interesting topic of you know, should people keep these videos up of them making these mistakes? Because a part of me would say yes, a part of me would say no. I mean, in this recent podcast actually that I was watching from Trisha and Ethan, they were talking about David, and there was this clip of them putting like peanut butter or some kind of chocolate on their face and to kind of do like a blackface skit. And he said that David Dobrik had it copyrighted or something, and that he had to, and he couldn't find the video very easily. It was like someone taking a video of the video. Like that's how he was able to get his hands on it. And he was like, you know what, David, like if you know, you can try to copyright me, you can try to, you know, whatever, but you know, I have fair use, you know, this is fair use. And so that's the thing. I feel like for people to try to, it's like for covering up their past, it's like, okay, that's kind of, that's crappy. Like, don't do that. Because you're just trying to cover up what you actually are like, even if you're not like that, because maybe people, you know, aren't their mistakes, but it's still like contextualize them. Be like, look, I made these mistakes. Like, make a statement. Say, I made these mistakes, and these are my mistakes, and I apologize for them. And for that, I'm going to take those videos down. But at least acknowledge that you're going to take this. Like, don't be all like hush hush and be like, it never happened. Like, sweep it under the rug.
Thing. Well, I guess Shane Dawson never was explicitly like, I'm going to take the videos down, but he apologized for it, but then continued to profit off of it.
And that's blatantly so messed
It's just
up.
so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah. I also wanted to talk about Trisha and like the Hair by Jay thing. Because there was that whole mess with Hair by Jay, like, just completely bullying her.
That was so
horrible.
bad. That was mean. That was genuinely mean.
It was. There was that one part because she was taking a video of the video.
She was like crying.
I know, but it was just kind of. I don't know. It was kind of funny how bad the quality was because she had like other videos also playing in the background, and then like her doing that, and like I feel bad for you, like that's horrible, but it's like, girl, like
why did she not have?
She doesn't edit her videos. She like leaves in all these mistakes. And it's just a little goofy, but the main point is that
was bad.
Hair by Jay was actually being horrible, and I actually did because
I've never seen like an adult bully another adult before. That
like
was
imagine someone
scary.
saying those things about you.
You
know, like, especially like on the internet. I mean, and just thinking about it, like that is not something easy to probably go through. And she already has this kind of insecurity about her weight too, and he was exploiting that.
And her skin and her hair. And then it's like, well, a lot of people are like, okay, you just proved Trisha's point because Trisha, her whole thing was like, and there are other people too who are like, yeah, they just talked bad about Trisha the whole trip. And Trisha was like, yeah, they talked bad about me, but I don't even really like want to get into it. And then Hair by Jay, there's a lot of speculation, but then Hair by Jay just proved
True.
Right.
He's not a human.
So it's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he literally just proved her right.
Exactly. And that's what they were saying. That's what Ethan and Trisha were literally saying.
So it's like, why would you do that? That's so stupid. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Because now you're going to make people not like you even more.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's, I don't know, that probably should really hurt Jeffrey and Hair by Jay's career. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, it just sucks that all these popular people in the media you want to look up to and you want to like, and they turn out to be like monsters of people.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, Jeffrey will always be afloat throughout all of this.
Yeah.
Because he has
Like,
so much
why?
money.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. He's like blind followers.
Yeah.
But who I'm most angry with is Shane, because Shane was like, just like turning a blind eye. It's like, oh my god, you do not want to lose Trisha's support. Like, that's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, you don't want to.
She's gonna rip you
She's
up.
gonna ruin your life. She's going to
Yeah.
ruin your life.
Yeah.
Like, any hope you had of
Yeah.
coming back is gone.
Even though he was in that video with Ryland.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But then it was kind of funny when they were like watching the video with Ryland, but they were like not paying attention.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's what Ethan was listening. He was like, we literally even don't care about what he's saying because we're just talking over it. The video. But yeah, because sometimes I like to think, I'm like, would I want to hang out with these influencers? And I'm like, because that's the whole thing that I'm thinking about with Trisha, with the whole thing, like, I want to like her, but I feel like a part of me is also scared of her, because, like, I feel like one wrong move, because I don't want to feel like I have to walk around eggshells around a friend, like, that's kind of, you want to be yourself, and so, I feel like with Trisha, you know, I wouldn't want to mess up, because then it's like, oh!
Yeah.
You know, cancel button.
All that dirty laundry.
Yeah. Even though I don't really think I have any dirty laundry, but she could be like, ow. I don't know. You peed your pants and, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Normal kid stuff. Am I right?
Yeah.
Can you make me feel better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Normal kid stuff. But
did you pee yourself?
I pissed myself plenty of times when I was a kid. Who hasn't?
Who hasn't? Okay, good. Good.
Did you think you were the only kid? That
No, I'm
pissed
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I did also want to talk about, I don't know if you saw this, but I saw this.
Okay.
There's
fill
this
me in.
video of Trisha.
Okay.
It's like old, but this is, I don't know if you caught this, but she mentioned that Shane Dawson asked her to take down a specific video on her channel.
Okay.
When they did this, it was like her and Shane, and they did this collaboration with this 16-year-old boy who has now transitioned into a girl.
Okay.
So she was 16 at the time of the video, and clearly prepubescent at the time.
Okay.
And Shane and Trisha were making very inappropriate comments, like very sexual, just weird stuff. And Shane was mentioning like putting stuff in, putting stuff around, just saying really weird stuff.
What is this person's name?
Their name, or her name, is Trevi, I believe.
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
I've never heard of her before.
Okay.
I saw that video, but someone found that video, reposted it, and I watched it, and I was like, this is weird. And then I was kind of, I was like, this looks bad on Shane, but I was also like, it looks bad on Trisha too.
It's that whole...
And I was mad because I was like, Trisha literally is like giving it to Shane, or to James Charles for hanging out with someone who is, how old is he, 21 and she's 16?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, she's still a minor, but it's like, compared to, she's like, what, in her late 20s? And Shane's
like
in
nearly
his
like
late
a 10-year
20s.
difference.
Yes.
Ugh.
And they're making sexual innuendos at this 16-year-old. It's weird.
And then there's the whole thing with Shane and that poster of
Willow Smith.
Yeah, Willow Smith.
That was weird.
Mhm.
Did you hear of that podcast clip where he asked this little girl for her Instagram, and then he was like, yeah, she was kind of hot. She was hot for like a 6-year-old or whatever. And I was like, and then apparently her mom got mad about it. She like responded and she was like, she went online and she was like, this is so inappropriate.
And in D'Angelo Wallace's video, like, wasn't that like a year ago? I forget when he posted the Shane video, but in that video, he has a clip of Shane kissing like a fan who is not 18, younger than 18 at least.
I think I've seen this.
Because the fan was like, "Oh, like I want to kiss," and blah blah. He's like, "Oh, okay," and it's like, okay, maybe it's the kind of thing. That's why like the age of consent is later, because kids who are like 12, they may say they want something, but that doesn't mean that it's right.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that you as the adult should exploit that.
Or like, have you seen the home videos of like him and his family and his ex-girlfriend Lisa? And that one video of him and like his 12-year-old cousin, it was just so weird. It felt like so predatory.
Yeah.
Where they're like teaching her about sex.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Are you on your period yet?" And stuff like that.
Ew.
And I was
so
like,
weird.
Bro, like chill. And his family is just as bad at that point because they're like, haha, like that's so funny. It's like, no, it's not. That is so inappropriate. And I would never let anyone talk to my child that way.
Oh my God.
Family or not, that is so messed up.
I agree. It's weird to get into the mind of someone like that, because now I'm thinking, well, surely he's not like that now. Like maybe like he's mortified, because like I think about it if I was in that position, but I also would never ever say those things. So it's hard to like to put yourself in that position, because I think, well, if he's apologized for it and he isn't like that now, then he shouldn't necessarily be canceled. But when you're telling me about these things like real time, I'm like, oh God, he's a gross person. Like,
should we?
I don't like him.
Should we excuse sex offenders then, and registered pedophiles?
Would you say he's a sex offender though? I guess. Well, if he kissed that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He just has. It's like, should we be excusing them then? It's just like,
no.
Ew.
Yeah. It's like, how do you redeem yourself? Because I'm all for rehabilitation and redemption, but some of these things is like, how do you even redeem yourself? Like, maybe in those situations, maybe it is just best to, I guess, cancel yourself. Like he should have done what Jenna did. Jenna should not have done what he did.
Just backed away.
Yeah. Jenna, you were fine. Even though there were something. Okay, I don't want to be like I'm condoning everything from her past, because I know that there was like some things with like. She was doing something as Nicki Minaj, and it was like kind of blackfacey, and then but I think at the time she said that was like the actual foundation she was using was actually just too dark for her. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, okay, it shouldn't have been that dark, but it's not like you were intentionally trying to make your skin like black to do blackface.
I mean, again,
because she would have gone out like in public like that, like to work like that. Yeah.
I think Jenna. Again, well, we should still hold everyone to the same standard, but I do think that she was very apologetic, and I feel like she meant it. I felt like that was like just very.
Oh, for sure.
Just very. I don't know.
I felt like
I'm
satisfied with it. It is possible to feel satisfied by a YouTuber apology. I think it's not completely. Just like hard to come by. Hard to come by, yeah.
Hard to come by.
Or hard to do, I guess. Maybe hard to come by, but it's not hard to do. I don't know. If you actually sincerely are apologetic.
But I don't think Shane actually sincerely is. I mean, how sincere can you be about it if you keep them all up and they're still monetized,
Are they still
They're not
up?
still up. Because then he went on like this purge. He was like, take everything down.
Yeah.
And then he's also, like, making fun of Trisha behind her back and all this other stuff. And he's still associating with Jeffrey after all the stuff that he's done.
It's so gross. And Jeffrey doesn't even like Shane.
I don't think he does.
Why would Jeffrey like Shane? Why would really anyone like him?
I don't...
I'm not trying to be mean, because a part of me is like...
The first red flag was when he proposed on both knees.
I love that comment. That was so funny.
So funny. It's true. It's like, bro, come on.
Why would you propose on both knees?
Why would you do that?
I
Is it like
agree.
a quirky? I can't help but wonder. Like, what was that? Was it like a quirky? Like, oh my god, I'm proposing on both knees.
Yeah.
It just looks weird. It's like, why are you doing
Yeah.
that?
Okay. Hi.
Can I ask you for um, your take? I
Okay.
can't think of the word. Can I ask you for your take on Shane Dawson?
They're gonna ask me
and-
for my number. I was like, you already
Girl,
have it.
I already got your number. I got that number years ago. I was gonna ask for your take on Shane Dawson
Okay.
and his whole makeup thing. What is with the palette? What do you know? What do you think?
What do I know? I know it's like called conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
I know he made a boatload.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was poor quality though. Like that's what Trisha was saying. So I don't know.
Really?
Didn't she say it was like not good quality? And I know that he's not that good at makeup. Like I saw this picture, I forget where. It was must have been on YouTube or something, and it was like, guys, like I've gotten so much better at makeup or something. And it was Shane Dawson. And it was like this really like I'm not good at makeup. I don't really wear makeup, but at the same time, I'm like the eyeliner was just not as sharp. It was just kind of like ooh. Girl, like I know it's like yay positivity, like you're so, but I'm also like
I don't like
you're
how
not. It's just weird when he's like trying to be something that he's not because he's trying to be like very into makeup, but he's clearly like I don't know. I can't define for other people what their things are, but it did seem kind of like bizarre, I guess, because it just doesn't seem like I guess you can still like something and not be good at it. I'm not trying to be mean because there's a lot of things that I like and I'm not good at. So I understand.
Here's the thing though. A
But I
lot
just thought it was kinda weird.
a lot of people are very critical of that because they're like, you stopped doing makeup after you made your money. Like that's what people are saying. They're like, after your palette got out, you stopped doing it. Like, and it's true. There's nothing there. No continuity, nothing.
Well, no content or no like no more makeup that he's making.
No more makeup.
Well, but that could be the cancellation. It could be the cancellation.
There's like a good period in between though.
Oh, okay.
Like months in between.
Okay.
So it's like, why? And then here's the kick, he made like a second makeup channel where he would do makeup and fun stuff, and he never posted on there, ever.
Oh.
So people are like, you did this for money. Like, that's what people are saying. They're like, you literally did this for money, which I think is true.
Yeah.
Because it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, makeup is my passion, except for after I get my big fat paychecks.
I feel like makeup would be more like Ryland's thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's, I'm not trying to be mean. I just feel like that seems more like up his alley.
Yeah.
Like Shane just doesn't seem the kind of person, but I guess people can wear makeup if they want, but that's the thing, it's just, if it doesn't seem that genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe he didn't seem that genuine that he actually liked it.
Yeah.
Or maybe he did like it, but it just sounded.
I don't know.
Oh, and so there's this one video that Jenna Marbles was that she made, and it was stuff with Claire's makeup, I think, and I think she bought I know she bought an eye shadow palette from Claire's, and I don't know if it was like Jojo Siwa brand. I don't know. I think I vaguely remember it being, but I'm not entirely sure. And she said that like a lot of these products she knows has like they did some research, has gotten recalled for like harmful chemicals and like asbestos being in the stuff. And she was saying that when she was putting it on, it was fine, and then she was like, well, I took it off and I didn't want to put that in the video, her putting on the eyeshadow, because her face burns. She's like, I'm not confirming or denying anything, but like about the product, but I'm just saying my face burns. And I was like, oh.
Oh my god, that is so bad.
I know,
that
like,
is not good.
the poor girls that are buying makeup from Claire's and their poor faces are, like, going to be puffy.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
would not buy anything from Claire's. I don't like...
I got my ears pierced at Claire's.
I think I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. I did not get my nose pierced at Claire's.
That would be funny.
That did not happen, no.
Well, what? Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but their palette is like very discounted now. Like, they used
gonna
to
look
be
it up.
the big seller at Morphe. Now it's like, ooh. Yeah, look into that.
I got you.
Doing some research.
Conspiracy palette, Jeffree Star Cosmetics. It's $31. Oh, from $52.
Well, look at other. That's his website. Look
Right.
at other websites.
Amazon. Wait, why is it $60 here? That's
Martha.
weird. That's
What is
really...
it at? What is it at Morphe?
Okay, I'll check. Oop, go back.
I heard that it was also at drugstores, but I can't confirm.
Whoa,
Oh my god.
what is that?
What is that?
I don't know if you guys can see. I don't... Oops. But, like, this is the... you can't see. It's, like, just so... You can't see. No, it's just a picture of, It's a weird picture of Jeffree, let me just say.
Maybe you can insert it.
Yeah, maybe I'll pop it in. I'm gonna save the image. I'm gonna save the image.
I don't like
Cause,
that.
man, he a hottie.
I heard that it's at that. Oh my god.
Why does that keep happening? I'm trying to literally type in.
I heard that it is at some drugstores, but I can't confirm or deny that. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, nothing comes up for me.
Oh, did they take it off? So they're not even selling it.
Well, wait, conspiracy palette. Let's see if that comes up. It doesn't look like it comes up.
Oh
It says,
God.
"Did you mean consistency palette?" It literally gave me the option when after I put in conspiracy, and then it said conspiracy palette. So I clicked on that, and then it's not even giving it to me.
That must mean that Morphe doesn't sell it anymore.
Ooh, that's weird.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because they had a partnership with Morphe, and I guess Morphe wanted out after their whole
Dang.
fallout, so now they're not selling.
But it still said Jeffree Star Cosmetics.morphe, like, so these still must have some kind of
But when you
relationship.
clicked it, nothing came up. It was just James Charles, right? Doing some research.
Well, I don't know. Let's just, I'll do it later. It's okay.
That's interesting.
But yeah.
So, I'm suspecting then that they must have taken his cosmetics off of the shelves.
Hopefully. I don't know. I don't know. I think there's just something to be said for, like, all this money getting into all these people's heads, and then they become so disconnected from reality and so disconnected from people. That's the thing about, it's almost culty how Shane's clan is like, oh my god, Shane is an empath and blah blah. Still, because I was watching one of their podcasts because I was just curious about it. And they're like, Shane is very in touch with people and animals and blah, blah, blah. And the context was sad. The context was because their kitten died. And they were saying, like, well, he just had this, like, sixth sense that he knew he was going to die because he's so connected. But it's like, I feel like you don't need to have, like, you don't need to be, like, super empathetic and, like, have this sixth sense to, like, realize that, your cat is in poor health.
Yeah.
It's kind of, and, like, realize that something's wrong, and I just felt like it was weird that it's like, that, he's an empath, and he was still after all that controversy about, like, shut up, you're not an empath,
Yeah, it's like, why are you giving him so much credit?
It was just weird, and I feel bad that their cat died. That is, I'm not saying that's great. I'm just saying I thought that it was kind of, it made, like, the moment less, I don't know, because I was sad for them, but then I felt more like, okay, why did you say that? I felt like it took away from more of the sadness, because it's like, okay, I don't feel like that was necessary.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, I feel like it can be kind of culty, where it's like, Shane is an empath, and it's like, in reality, I think he can be kind of disconnected. I mean, like what you said, how he kept his videos of blackface up and monetized them even after all the controversy. That is just so tone deaf.
That is really bad.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah. So I guess, if you want to wrap things up, the moral is that, genuinely nice influencers, as a person who is a fan, are hard to come by. And people like Jenna, who I feel like was the embodiment of that, she did do the right thing in taking accountability. And because of that, she felt that she had to leave, which is sad. And I think, would you want her back? Because I want her back.
I would like her back.
And it just seems that people should follow her example of being genuine and actually taking accountability, which people like the Paul brothers do not do. I'm not saying I don't enjoy their content, because sometimes, like, I don't really watch Jake Paul, but sometimes Logan Paul can be funny. And I just wish it would just all be more enjoyable if people like David Dobrik, the Vlog Squad, even Trisha, just all these people just being more genuine and nice people. I feel like just making sure to kind of realize that, hey, even just because you're famous on the internet doesn't mean that you can be a mean monster.
A big fat meanie.
but yeah, that's the moral. Just trying to stay grounded in reality and still being a good person above all.
Yeah.
Like Jeffrey. Like, dude, you so disconnected in your freaking, I don't know, $50 million mansion in Calabasas. Yeah,
You're so disconnected.
Yeah, he's so. Yeah, and the Red Bulls he always drinks with the straw. Have you seen them?
Yeah.
He's so disconnected. Just because of that.
Or like Shane Dawson when he's like, I'm so poor. I have holes in my shirt. In his like $2.3 million house that he paid off up front.
My God.
And it's like, oh my God. Talk about tone deaf. It's like Jesus.
Oh well, yeah, and that's the whole thing with really quickly is the whole thing with the TikTokers and like throwing parties during COVID, or like going on vacation during COVID. I'm like, yeah, your life must be so hard. Like, you're totally like not being able to pay rent this month and like losing your job or like losing family members. Like, oh my God, boo-hoo for you, because like you can't party, but you literally did it anyway.
Or like Kylie Jenner, who's like, guys, like, why can't we all just stay home for quarantine? While she was swimming in like her second pool.
Or I guess, do whatever you want, because the Kardashians, it's the kind of thing where they rented a private island, and like she was privileged enough. She was like, I'm privileged and humble enough to, to be able to do this and blah, 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 or whatever. But it's like it's like no one like that. Like nobody liked them doing that. And I guess, if you have gatherings and you have the protections in place and the testing, I understand that people can be more privileged to get that, but it's just kind of like when you're flaunting it when so many people are struggling. That's the thing where it's like, guys, just because you're famous doesn't mean you're better than everybody. You're still a person. You still got the same guts as everybody else.
It's like, dang, now more than ever, you really notice it, though. Like, when people flaunt their wealth.
That's what D'Angelo Wallace was saying, too. It's, like, really coming out. Like, if it wasn't apparent before, this has really exacerbated the situation of just, it's just really exposed a lot of how nasty a lot of celebrities actually are. So, yeah. The moral story is stay in touch with reality and be a good person.
It's so easy.
So easy. Give me a hug.
Come here.
Bye, everybody.